Let the trilogy begin. Final is here. Senegal looking for their first ever Afcon, taking on Egypt, who are looking for a record 8th Afcon. They have won 7 before. The mighty Egypt, the class of African football, taking on Senegal, who are trying to look for their first ever title. Aliou Cisse leading his squad, Sadio Mane leading it, Koulibaly and these sort of guys. What a final this should be. Somewhat contrasting styles. One team who's had a bit of an easy path in Senegal, while Egypt have had to go through the gauntlet. I mean, absolute gauntlet to make it to this final. But first, we're going to talk about the road that these two teams have made. We're going to talk about some tactics that could be applied in this match. And then I'm going to give you my predictions for the final. So sit back, get some popcorn ready for Sunday, because this is going to be awesome. Let's get started. So let's talk about the road for both teams heading into this final. If we look at Senegal first, looking for their first ever Afcon, they had a tricky group stage, right? First game, 97th minute, they needed a penalty to beat Zimbabwe. No offense to Zimbabwe, but Zimbabwe, all right. Sadio Mane converted the penalty, got a 1-0 win. 0-0 against Guinea. 0-0 against Malawi. And everybody thought after the group stage, Senegal ain't for real. Senegal ain't for real. This side just don't look good. Yes, they had a lot of COVID problems. They had some injuries they had to sort out. But they look like a mid-table Premier League side when they should be maybe a top Premier League side. You know what I mean by quality-wise, at least here in the Afcon. All right, round of 16, Cape Verde were down to 9 men. Sadio Mane scored a goal while being concussed. He probably saw Arsenal players in front of him while he scored the goal. They got through it though. You got to just beat the opponents that are in front of you. Quarterfinals, they play against Equatorial Guinea. Tough match, 1-1. They get the 2 goals late. They win 3-1, and everybody's like, all right, this is the Senegal we have been waiting for. And Ismail Assar made his first appearance in the Afcon in that game and was an instant impact. Then we get to the semifinals against Burkina Faso. Very, very tough game. 0-0 at halftime. Then Abdou Diallo of PSG gets the breakthrough goal for them. Then obviously Idrissa Gueye gets the second goal. And then you thought, oh, Touré brings a goal back for Burkina Faso. They were starting to push for a goal. Then Sadio Mane finishes it past the Burkina Faso goalkeeper. And Senegal make it to back-to-back Afcon finals. So the road has been easy if you look at the opponents compared to Egypt. But you have to just play who's in front of you, and Senegal have done that. They have improved in each and every game so far in this Afcon, and now it's going to be the biggest game for them ever, once again, just like in 2019. And for Egypt, well, they've also had a very interesting path to this final. A 1-0 loss in their first game against Nigeria, where they looked absolutely pathetic. They were too defensive, nothing going forward, and everybody was like, well, Egypt are out, they're not going to win this Afcon. Okay, they get a 1-0 victory over Guinea-Bissau. Maybe a little bit controversial with that VAR decision the Guinea-Bissau scored, but it is what it is. They get the 1-0 victory. 1-0 against Sudan. They scored from a corner. All right, it was okay performance, but they got through it. Round of 16, they face Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, who were just destroyed Algeria, won their group, and everybody was like, all right, Ivory Coast are going to destroy Egypt. I said, you know what? Just be patient. It's going to be a 1-0 game. I still said for Ivory Coast, but this is Egypt that we're talking about. Well, Egypt put on a very good performance, and obviously the goalkeeper Mohamed El Shanawi put in a man-in-the-match performance before getting injured. And then the backup goalkeeper Gabatsky stepped up in the penalty shootout. Mo Salah converted the last penalty, and Egypt went through. And the performance was 100 times better than what we saw in the group stage. Quarterfinals, North African derby against Morocco. 1-0 down early in the game. 10 minutes into it, Sofiane Boufal converts the penalty. Then that guy, Mo Salah, scores from the corner. A little bit of melee in the box, but he right there to pounce onto it. And then in extra time, Salah shows why he is the best player in the world. That assist he gave to Trezeguet was sublime. Absolutely sublime. And Egypt defeat Morocco and advance to the semifinals. We get to the semifinals. They're taking on the host Cameroon. Drones trying to be used at the Egyptian training. All of the circumstances against Egypt. Cameroon the host. They have everything for them. First half, Cameroon were I think, the better side. And then after that first half, it was just a neck and neck, kind of just whichever team had more of the willpower and the mentality to win the game would win the match. And eventually, in the penalty shootout, well, Cameroon choked, and Gabatski was once again the hero, and Egypt advanced to another Afcon final. They got revenge for the 2017 Afcon final. So those are the two paths, but both teams have faced heading into this final. Now, let's talk about some tactics and maybe some lineup choices that could be used in this final. Maybe for Aliou Cisse especially. You know, this is a manager who has been criticized a lot from Senegalese people, I can imagine, because this is a talented side. There's no doubt about that. You look at the names on the team sheet and you're like, wow, this team should be playing much better. But the performances haven't matched that. Last two matches, the performances have been better. But I want to shout out one name who maybe should start. But it's just depending on his fitness if he will start. And he has made an instant impact off the bench, and that is the young star Ismaila Sarr of Watford. I mean, this guy has been fantastic so far in this tournament, getting a goal, getting an assist. As soon as he came onto the field against Burkina Faso, he got the corner, he got the assist for Sadio Mane. Ismaila Sarr could be the major difference in this game, but we're going to have to see if he starts. I don't know if he's fully fit, if he can play 90 minutes, but if he can come on at halftime or 60th minute, that's going to be worrying for Egypt, because Ismaila Sarr is just on another level at the moment. Another thing for Senegal, you know, Sadio Mane is just, we know Sadio Mane is going to step up. We know he is. The guy is going to come up clutch for them. If Sadio Mane has a good game, I think Senegal might win this matchup, because he's a man on a mission. He's very much a man on a mission. He has talked about how he would rather win an Afcon than the Champions League. He wants to win this Afcon desperately, just like his teammate at Liverpool, Mo Salah, does. Then if you look at the defense, right? The defense have only conceded 2 goals throughout this whole tournament. You're led by Koulibaly and Diallo and Edouard Mendy. That is a fantastic trio to have at the back. Obviously, you have Cisse and you have Bruno Sarr as the 2 wingbacks. I was very impressed with Cisse in the semi-final. I thought he got forward a lot, but just his crossing needs to be better. My only worry for Senegal is that midfield. It's just not a creative midfield. It just isn't. You have Nampalys Mendy, you have Cheick Kouyaté, and you have, obviously, Idrissa Gueye. Is that a creative midfield? No, it isn't. But you know what that midfield does? It works hard and it gets the ball forward to the dangerous players. And I think a thing that Aliou Cisse has to think about is Dieng might have to start as striker. I think that's a better option. You saw when Dieng then converted from right winger to striker, it worked out instantly. So that's some things that Aliou Cisse has to think about into this matchup. And then for Carlos Queiroz, I'm Carlos Queiroz. I'm sorry. I dissed Carlos Queiroz a lot during this tournament, and I'm just saying, I know what you are as a manager. You're organized at the defense, and the first thing for you is don't concede. But offensively, they show nothing in the group stage for me to say, all right, Egypt are going to win this Afcon. But round of 16, quarterfinals, and semifinals, Carlos Queiroz has been a different manager, organized at the back, but also being a bit more creative and a bit more encouraging going forward. So Carlos Queiroz, I am sorry. You deserve an apology from me. But there is some injuries issues for this, and suspension issues for this Egyptian side, all right? Omar Kamal, I think he's going to miss the final. He has too many yellow cards, so he is suspended. So, you know, the player that replaced him at the right back in the semifinal, Imam Ashur, he might have to start at the right back. So, Imam Ashur versus Sadio Mane, that's going to be tough, because Omar Kamal, I would say, has been very, very good in this tournament. Then you got to look at the center backs. I mean, Abdel Monem, he's a man on a mission. He has been fantastic. Either if he was next to, obviously, Higazi, or if he's now next to Wench, who replaced Higazi in the semifinal. I think Abdel Monem has been one of the best center backs in this tournament. Just clearing everything, slide tackles perfect, just everything is just inch perfect from Mohamed Abdel Monem. So, big shout out to him. We look at the forwards. We know Salah. You know, you can say what you want about Salah. The guy is just absolutely fantastic and is the best player in the world. I don't want to hear nothing about it. But you look at the 2 other forwards. Mustafa Mohamed, not good enough. I just don't think he's just that good. But you know what? He works hard, and that's the main thing. Omar Mahmoush, okay, he's okay. I think he could be playing a lot better. He could be having more goals in this tournament, but he's been okay. So those are some problems for Egypt. The 2 other forwards and then the midfield is just not creative enough either. I think if you're Carlos Queiroz, you have to think about starting Trezeguet. You really have to think about it, because he is just that creator. Yes, he missed a lot of chances in this Afcon, but you see when Trezeguet comes off the bench, it's just an instant impact, and there's more creativity and the ball moving forward for Egypt once he's on the field. Because El Neni, he gave up the ball so many times in the semi-final. You look at, obviously, Fati. Okay, it's alright. They work hard. That's the main thing for Egypt. The midfielders work hard. It's similar to Senegal. Both of the midfielders just work very hard for their team. So, now it's the big talking point. Salah versus Mane. The Liverpool teammates. I'm going to call them the frenemies now, because this is the start of the trilogy between these two sides. We know they're playing in this final on Sunday, and then they play against each other in the World Cup playoffs in March. So this is the start of the trilogy for these frenemies. I cannot wait. I bet they're going to have a good banter, and they're going to have good discussions once all of these games are over. Who will have the bragging rights? And I'm pretty sure they will have the bragging rights, and they will talk about it for many, many years to come between these two, I think, very, very good friends. But let's get to the prediction. So, my prediction and the winner of this year's Afcon, in my opinion, I think it will be Egypt. This is a team on a mission. This team is destined to win this Afcon. I don't know what it is, but this team is just destined. I will say this, though. Egypt will win this game 1-0 on penalties. They will win on penalties once again. This team is just mentally just so strong. And I'm wondering to myself, if Senegal get frustrated and they can't score in 90 minutes, they're going to be frustrated and they will have the mental loss in this game. While Egypt have just been battle tested and battle tested and battle tested. If this game ends in 90 minutes, Senegal will win. That's what I see. But I don't see that happening. I think this is going to 120 minutes. I think it's going to penalties. Oh my God, we know what drama. There hasn't really been a heavy defeat in the Afcon final since I think the 1998 final between, I think it was South Africa and Tunisia when it was hosted in South Africa. I think it was a 2-0 win for South Africa. All the rest of these finals and many editions since then have been one goal or they have been ended on penalties, just as Ivory Coast, for example. So I just see this Egyptian side and I just see Carlos Queiroz. Yes, he won't be on the sideline, but doesn't matter. The Water Boy will be on the sideline and they will still win this final. Egypt will win 1-0 on penalties and capture their 8th Afcon title. It's hard luck for Senegal, but I just see that there's just some destiny with this Egyptian side. Sometimes you just look at these sides and you're like, they shouldn't win this Afcon, but they're just destined to do so. You look at Portugal, for example, 2016. If you looked at how they played in the group stage and some games in the knockout stages, you would say to yourself, this team shouldn't win the Euros. What do? Adair. And I just see the same thing for this Egyptian side. I think it will be a 1-0 victory for Egypt on penalties. Well, that's my prediction for the Afcon 2021 played in 2022 finals prediction. You guys let me know your predictions in the comment section down below. Tell me your thoughts. I want to hear everything what you want to say about this final between two heavyweights of African football. A team looking for their first ever Afcon and a team looking for their 8th Afcon in their history. You guys let me know your predictions in the comment section down below. You know there will be a watch along on Sunday for this final. So hopefully you guys all join me for the watch along. It should be fantastic football and some fantastic entertainment. I want to see Senegalese people in the chat and I want to see Egyptians in the chat. I want to see everybody there. All right. So like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And obviously, good luck to both teams. Afcon has been amazing. You know, the football hasn't been the greatest, but just entertainment-wise, you cannot defeat this tournament. Have a beautiful day. See you on Sunday for the watch-along. Good luck to both teams. Stay safe, everyone. And adios.